Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Trading Room crude oil inventory report session for September 24th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our last session today, so we'll do away with the disclosure. Different start time on the data, so my trade progression is a little different, and it looks like the trade that made target 1 and stopped out hasn't hit target 1 yet on that chart. So we'll look for new trades here. There's a new report, should come out in under 2 minutes. All right. Please do say hello in the chat. Crude is flat, unleaded, and we'll look for a new trade there because obviously you're not going to take a trade that's set up at 10 minutes till 9 this morning for the 10:30 crude inventory report. Unleaded in the upper right, crude on the right, unleaded in the upper left. Crude on Spotlight is the right-hand chart. Crude on Counterpunch 377 tick chart is on the lower left, and the Spotlight chart is an 8-tick range bar, or if you're a TradeStation user, an 8-cent momentum bar. All right. Report coming out in a couple of seconds. Okay. And that's what you call a nothing burger for the report. I mean, no reaction at all. Didn't even move the needle. All right, now starting to get a little bit of a reaction. I would have exited the unleaded trade if it had been in it about 5 minutes ago. Wait our 2 minutes. That's a possible trade. Really, it's a reaction. It's a reaction trade, but and it touches the entry. But I am not convinced yet, and I'm going to take that. And there's our 2 minutes. Testing the 50 EMA. I have a suspicion this one's going to bounce. I may be wrong, and I was wrong. So that hits money management off the table if you're trading it. And didn't place the order. I didn't, so I'm going to call that an avoided trade, or just a missed trade. I was waiting for that one to come back up, see if it tested 50 and came back up, because that one was suspicious. So we'll wait for the next trade. And coming, now that looks like it's a no harm, no foul. Yep, stops out for 2 ticks, break even trade. Nothing more, nothing less. Hit money management right on the nose. All right, we've got it oversold, so should get a long trade on this bar. $31 would be the trade. I'm going to go ahead and put the order in. And there's the entry. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Pat, yeah, it did. That was a mistake on my part. It didn't get above the balance line, so that's not a trade. That's why it didn't show up. So actually, 25 trade should be at 36 on this bar. I wasn't careful in looking at what I was doing. That's where the entry should be on this bar. Yeah, there it is. There's the correct entry. So I'll put the correct points in here. Correct stop is 07. So I'll have 5 ticks more profit potential and 5 ticks less risk on this trade. And we wouldn't actually be in this trade yet. Still not triggered. Unleaded has a short trade. 377 Tech Counterpunch has a couple of filtered trades. Oh yeah, they're squeeze zone trades. All right, still not technically triggered into the long on crude. Pretty big trade because of the additional bar. Now, not huge. We had some overlap in that, so it's about a normal max. Still not triggered. And unleaded gets target 2. So unleaded will be one and done. And I am in a trade that I shouldn't be in. Never got to 36 for the entry. You have to be careful when you anticipate trades like that. I didn't look to see that third bar would clear the balance line before I anticipated that trade. 31. And the correct thing to do when I first did would have been close the trade immediately. Shouldn't be in it, so close it and wait for the correct entry. Crude 94.73. I'm sorry, unleaded from the stop. Runs all the way through target 4. Crude seems to be bouncing off, or at least is testing the 50 EMA. Potential long trade. There's the valid long trade on a 377 tick counterpunch chart. Target 3 is our goal, and 10 tick minimum at 64.36. Entry at 26. 94.71 for the unleaded stop. $377 tick does trigger in. Long on crude, 377. The long trade is still valid, but hasn't triggered in yet. On spotlight. I've misplaced my entry on that one. $377 tick trying to push upward, getting to 64.30. Unleaded stopping out at 94.71. So that completes the trade plan target 1 or target 2. Both hit targets and stopped out on the trailer. All right, close out of that one. Put the entry where it belongs. Picked up a couple of ticks. If it goes, fine. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But that's really what I should have done initially. As soon as I realized it wasn't a valid trade, close it and put the correct trade in. So unleaded is done. Counterpunch is in a long trade. Spotlight has a potential long trade, has not triggered. And there is the trigger, finally trigger into the long trade on Spotlight. So now we are correctly in this trade. Money management on the counterpunch trade, trailer is at 64.29. Target is at 64.38. One tick away. That's a 10 tick minimum, so I'm not going to cut my risk at this point. Looks like we got the 37. Very little energy in crude today. There was energy early in the morning, but that kind of fizzled about by the time the pit opened up. Not much movement. And a little burst there, but that kind of ran out of steam. We are up at session highs. Very much in consolidation mode. It appears session high at 47. I think got pushed up about 3 ticks shortly after 10 o'clock. I'm having some transmission issues. Not much to watch anyway. We got up to 37 again. Need one more tick. There's 37. Nope. Connection is back to where it should be. There's 38. So that will be, and 40. That will be a completed target. Trailer at 34. 10 ticks on target. We've got 6 ticks on the trailer at the moment. So that will be power quitting. So that will be 2 out of 3 charts are done. We need to get up to 57 to get target on the spotlight trade. The rate things are going, that doesn't look very likely. Already 24 minutes after the report, and we are firmly in the middle of wait a minute. Oh, that was right. Oh, this is the wrong one. Now that was supposed to be the range up there. This is the one that should be there. Yeah, we're firmly in the middle of the range, reaction range. Yeah, not much movement at all here. Nothing much to do. Questions or comments? Say hello in the chat. $377 tick stops out on the trailer. That completes that one. So the only thing left is spotlight, counterpunch, and unleaded both complete. little bit of movement in crude now. Yeah, 40 up to 43. Actually, up to 44 it looks like. So, well, yeah, we got up to 44. I had been 45. Now 47. Now 50 is very likely going to be a tough nut to crack. There's 45. A couple of ticks below the session high. And there's a new session high at 48. I believe money management's at 55. Yes, 55 for money management. So still need another 7 ticks for that. 9 ticks for target 1. Right, there is money management and target 1. So this will be a power putting trade. Attach this. See where it goes, but you get target 2 at 69. That will end the trade. All right, there we go. All right, that ends the session, or that completes the session. Stop now at 44, but no positions left to follow that. Just use the 2 fixed positions. So unless there are questions or comments, we will call that a day and come back again tomorrow, regular 9:30 a.m. session tomorrow morning. for our final session of the week, and then we'll come back next Tuesday. Everybody have a good one. See you tomorrow.